seconds for it to catch up, but
Action.
go. Say something good. All right. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday to you. It is 6:59. We're like 30 seconds early, but we thought we'd jump on. I see we have, we got about 30 or so people on here, but I'm sure more will jump on here in a second. There's new stools I'm sitting on. That's why I'm fidgeting like an idiot here, because I keep slipping off this thing. It is like completely slick in the back. So
Yeah.
if I fall out of my chair tonight, I have not been drinking, and I am completely sane normally. So it'd just be
Could be the key to going viral.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Appreciate that. He's always morally supporting me here. All right, how's everybody doing? I see a few familiar names. Jason C., Dennis Clement, Derek Mule, Icehog 1990, Jeremy Jakubek, good to see you. Blind Osprey is here, good to see you, Tim. Blind Osprey first mates for me from time to time, Scott, good guy. Jim Dombrowski, Bill Dickens. There we go. Everybody jumping on now. I'm sure the number. Yeah, here we go. The numbers are starting to jump up. And somebody said Lima Charlie, so I know we're loud and clear. Jim Dombrowski, thank you for letting me know that we are loud and clear. Ken Kipp, Greg Moose, Fishhawk is here. The Fishhawk is here.
Nice.
Yeah. Patrick Forrester, Dakota Joe, good to see you, Joe. And everybody else hopping on here. Open Water Mike, I think he talked to you not long ago down
Yes.
south. Yeah.
Yeah, he was at Michigan City. He wanted me to tell you hi.
Yeah. Hi back to you there, Open Water Mike. Good to see you. Thanks for sending me the hello through Mr. Scotty Mac. By the way, Scotty, thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for the invite. You know, it came at a good time, and
You're very
it's nice
welcome.
to have
Yeah.
a different audience to try to get our message out through, and you have a pretty solid one, I have to
Well,
say.
we got a real good group of people here, without a doubt. Real solid group of just real nice, down-to-earth people that come on this channel. So everybody, this is Scotty Mac. If you don't know him, let me introduce him real quick. Scotty is not only the tournament director of the Tournament Trail, he's also the host of Salmon Showdown. And if you haven't seen Salmon Showdown, what rock have you been living under? Because it's the show that I binge watch every
Well,
spring.
thank you for that.
You're welcome. Salmon Showdown ran from 2010 to 2017?
That's correct.
Yeah, 7 years, 13 episodes per year, I believe. And, hundreds of boats came through that show. And
Yeah, a lot. I don't know if it was hundreds, but a lot
you
of
got-
boats did, and it was a great run. It was 91 episodes in total.
Yeah.
I think the last season might not have been 13. I don't know, but that's what
It
it was.
worked out.
91 episodes. It was a lot of fun, and that's
Yeah.
part of what we want to
Lot-
talk about here tonight.
A lot of fun to watch, too. So what Salmon Showdown depicted was tournament fishing out on the Great Lakes, specifically Lake Michigan, through dozens of different ports. And what they did every year was so many teams would start off on the tournament trail. And as the season went on and on and on, these points accumulated until you had the four top scoring boats at the end of the year. And then those four boats would go head to head in the Manistee, is normally the Manistee Monster. You got something going on there?
No, it's keep going.
Yeah, okay. And then those four boats would compete at the end of the year for $10,000. First
Right,
place,
yes.
cash prize.
Yeah.
Now I got to look and see what you're looking at. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so that went on every year, and it was such a good time, and it was such a good show, and it not only gave you a chance to see some of the best boats out there, but it gave you the good and the bad. And we were on there one season, and we were part of the bad. So I can attest.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. We caught, I think, one fish that whole weekend, but it was a pretty lousy weekend all the way. But boy, did we have fun! But that was the beauty of the show. They would show you if something was really working great for one team, and they would show you another team where maybe a lot of stuff was not working so great. And that was wonderful. And you got to follow, maybe your favorite boat through the whole season, root for them, root against them, root against other boats if you didn't like them, whatever. And then let's see who won it at the end of the year. But it was a great show. And you're welcome. You guys did a great job. So we're not going to beat around the bush here. We're going to jump right into that. We're going to talk about the resurgence and the rebroadcast, I want to say, of the Salmon Showdown. But please wait until the end of the video, because we got a bunch of stuff to give away. Scotty brought some stuff. I've got some stuff. So we're going to do that at the end. And and we'll talk about the fishing report also at the end. But let's just get right into this. Let's not beat around it, Scotty, unless I'm missing something. You're bringing the show back, correct?
That's the plan. So we have announced the last couple of weeks that we are going to be bringing Salmon Showdown back, and then immediately I started getting questions. So I might have announced it a little too prematurely, but I do have a lot more detail now than what I was able to say in the beginning. So
What's that called in the professional business? Is that a teaser?
yeah, a teaser. Yeah.
A 2-week teaser?
I thought you were going to ask me about the premature. What was that? But never mind.
Right.
So we are bringing Salmon Showdown back. We're going to film this year. The difference in what you just laid out is this is going to be a limited engagement, I guess you could call it. We plan to do 4 individual episodes of Salmon Showdown in 2022 as kind of a trial run. And we have grand designs for the future as well to hopefully bring it back in more of its original state. But right now what we can commit to is 4 individual filmings, and I can also reveal tonight where those are going to take place, which we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
But I do want to say, I think the most important thing I can say about the return of Salmon Showdown is, you mentioned what a great show that I did.
You're welcome.
But I just kind of did what I'm doing right now. I just sit here and try to think of cute things to say.
Right.
The team behind the show, while I was on that team, also featured Chase Mazer.
Yeah.
He was the lead cameraman. He was the chief editor. He now works for the Great Lakes Fisherman's Digest. So if you watch that show, you'll see his work currently. The point is, we've contracted Fisherman's Digest to do Salmon Showdown.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
it's going to be
Great.
Chase and I again working together. So the show should have its same feel, the same production value, and hopefully the product will be
Even better.
even better, or at least as good as. So,
That's great.
So I'm really excited to be working with Chase again, and he's the one that gave the polish and the professionalism to the final product.
Chase did a great. I'm sure he's still doing a great job. His touch on the editing in the editing booth was always wonderful.
Yeah.
Always seemed to really bring things to life in a certain way. But hey, I skipped over something here, and that's my fault. I skipped over actually 2 things, so I'm going to back up just for a second. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there.
Indeed.
Happy Mother's Day to my beautiful wife. Happy Mother's Day to you. Also, Happy Mother's Day to my mom. Happy Mother's Day to you, Mom. If you're on here, I haven't seen you yet, but I might have missed you. But to everybody else out there, anybody you want to wish Happy Mother's Day to, Scotty?
All the moms out there.
Well said.
And to my wife as well, who's currently at home with a broken leg.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So, yes, she's 1 week in. She wrecked her whole summer 1 week ago today. And I don't know if she's watching. Probably not. But,
I'm sorry
happy
to hear
Mother's
that.
Day, baby.
And the second thing that I always like to say, don't forget these live streams are on every Sunday night at 7 p.m. and they are brought to you proudly by Dreamweaver Lures. Dreamweaverlures.com.
We're in front of the wall of dreams right now.
We are. Yep. I mean, look at all the dreams behind us. Dash dreams. Some dreams come true.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, some of the best stuff on the water, in my opinion, the best stuff on the water. Dreamweaverlures.com. I didn't mean to take that left turn there, Scotty, but there was a couple things I definitely wanted to get out there. But let's talk about, 4 different locations this year for Salmon Showdown. There's going to be a lot of other questions, I'm sure, that come up here in a moment. We'll cover them all. Then you'll be able to answer or ask questions also. But 4 different locations. What are the 4 locations we're looking at?
So, yeah, episode 1 of the Return of Salmon Showdown is going to be filmed at the Grand Haven Offshore Challenge.
That's a good tournament, too.
Yeah,
Yep.
indeed it is.
Yep.
So that'll be number 1. They'll also be having the cameras rolling at the Ludington Offshore Classic.
My favorite tournament. It is.
And it's a lot of people's favorite tournament.
It is. It's a great tournament. I am partial, though, sometimes to the Budweiser here in
Right.
Manistee because it's just such good people. But that Ludington is a ton of fun.
The Budweiser is no longer.
Yeah,
Now
it
the
is now the
Triport.
Triport, and I got to get my brain working right.
I
on
do
that.
too.
Yep.
Episode number 3 will be at the Big Red Classic in Holland.
Never fished it, but I've heard it's a great tournament.
Fantastic tournament. Great group of people that run that. It pulls big numbers every year.
Yeah.
And then this year, if you've been paying attention to the tournament schedule, we will be filming it at the last event of the year. which is the Frenzy in Frankfurt. So those are the 4 events that will have cameras rolling.
Good tournament. So again, Grand Haven, Ludington, Holland, Frankfurt.
Right.
4 excellent ports. I fished every one of those except for one of them, and I can tell you they're all good. And just watching them on Tournament Trail in the old shows,
Yeah.
they all look fantastic. I love Frankfurt too. It's one of my favorite ports. Not to just go tournament fish, but just go fish. Just a nice town. Nice.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great
It is.
location for the tournament.
Yeah.
It's right downtown at the pavilion. There's all kinds of bars, restaurants, things
Yep.
to do on the
Yep.
while you're
Slips
on
are always
shore.
nice, close to
Everything's within
everything.
walking distance, pretty much.
Yeah, if you want to go
Most
to a
of it
nice
is.
little spot and just go fish for a weekend, jump up to Frankfurt. Come to Manistee if you want to also. I don't mean to knock Manistee in any way, but Frankfurt is a nice little fishing town. So those are the 4 ports.
Yep.
How many boats are you going to film in each port?
At this point, and this is where we get to, everything is still very fluid. This was, this whole thing was confirmed less than a month ago. But at this point, it's looking like 2 boats per episode.
Okay, 2 per episode. All right, so backed off a little from what used to be 4 per episode typically.
It used to be 3 per episode, I think.
Was it 3?
I don't think we ever had 4.
Oh, you're right. It was 3.
Yeah.
Yep. It was 3.
So, it's different. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that go on to that decision. When we were nationwide on the Pursuit channel, we're producing a 30-minute show. Now that equals a 21 and a half minute show when you feature in content in the commercial availability.
Right.
And so while 3 boats was a lot of fun, 2 boats, which I think we did in the later seasons,
Well, actually-
would allow us to kind of delve deeper into what was going
Yeah,
on.
and I remember in the early seasons you would have 2 boats per episode, and it was
Right.
kind of fun just to watch those 2 go head to head because you did get more content time per boat to see exactly what they were doing.
That's exactly,
Yeah.
that was the point. Now the season 7, if I remember, I don't think it aired nationally, so we didn't have those episode time constraints.
Right.
Which allowed us to, if we
Do
could
what you
we
want.
could make an 8-hour show if we wanted. Know how
Right.
many people would watch it for that. Just do it in real time.
Exactly.
But so that's going to be the plan. 2 boats per episode: Grand Haven, Ludington, Holland, and Frankfurt.
Okay.
And we'll see how that goes from there.
All right, so now I'm sure a lot of people are out there asking this question right now and it's chawing at them. How do I get on the show? How do I get my boat, my face, my pretty face on your show?
That's the big question that I get the most right now,
Right.
which is good to know. It sounds like there's a lot of boats that would like to be involved, a lot of teams that would like to be involved. And as we found out over the 7 seasons that we did the show, I think there are also teams that don't want to be involved. They don't want to be comfortable with a camera on their boat, and I get it. If you are interested in being on the Return of Salmon Showdown, as you can do simple math, there's not a whole lot of slots. So this year we are going to follow the 333 Championship Series Founders Cup very closely. That's our 333 multi-port season-long event. If you're registered and competing in the Founders Cup, that's where we're going to get our teams from.
Okay.
We haven't selected those teams yet, not even for Grand Haven. We don't know who those teams will be. We'll take a look at who's competing there. We'll probably, as the season goes on, we'll be looking, quite honestly, for relevant teams that have a chance. Not that, I don't want to call anyone irrelevant, but, the numbers don't lie as the scores pile in. The better you're doing in the Founders Cup, I think the better chance you'll have to get selected to be on the show.
That makes sense because it's going to add to the drama, and of course, people are they're going to want to see the boats that are really in the hunt.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, not saying that's the only boat they're going to want to see, but it's fun to watch those boats that are coming up in the hunt and
Drama sells.
It does, yeah, and chasing that trophy down. So
And you want the passion to be there and the guys to be excited and to have the adrenaline flowing. And
Right.
if you're eliminated from the Founders Cup, maybe
you might not be.
I shouldn't have paid Scotty Mack all that entry fee. That was a stupid decision. But regardless, we've got limited availability this year. We certainly hope to see this grow into a full season, maybe as early as 2023. I don't know that none of that is confirmed, but
So-
what is confirmed is what I've mentioned here today.
No, that's great information. I just wanted to back up just for a second because you mentioned the Founders Cup. And there might be people out there that are just have no idea what the Founders
Yeah.
Cup is. How would they get more information or what can you tell them about it?
Well, real quick, for anyone that doesn't know, we'll start at the 333 Championship Series. You know, there's 11 tournaments on the circuit this year. They started 2 weeks ago in Michigan City. We were in St. Joe last week. We continue traveling up the shoreline till we end in Frankfurt in August. The 333 is a side bet in all of those tournaments. It has the same exact rules from port to port to port. It's a simple 3-fish limit. You weigh your best 3 fish in 2 days. It's a $100 entry fee. Our purse this year is about 10 grand in cash and prizes, guaranteed. Raise I wear a big check for $2,000 to the winner at every single port. So that's 20 times the entry fee. The 333 is, you know, the tournament trail's 20 years old this year. 333 is 18 years old. That's a pretty impressive run.
It's
for,
proven too.
Yeah.
It's proven.
And
proven
it applies
system.
really to everybody. You know, it's fun. There's some strategy. There's some luck in the 333. And at $100, it's a great way to get your feet wet on the tournament trail. You know, if you've been watching us on Facebook or getting the tournament trail email blast, or if you got a group of friends and you're like, man, we should try one of them tournaments. Yeah, you know, try it.
You should.
Why not?
Yeah, you should.
And the 333 is a great way to get your feet wet if you have a little bit of that intimidation factor. You know, there are all different levels to compete on the tournament trail. You don't have to be, 40-year charter captain with
a 40-foot
thousands,
boat.
with thousands of hours of experience. You don't need any of that. There's all different divisions and different levels to get in, and the 333 is a great way to get started.
Yes.
It's also a great way to add some fun and excitement on tournament weekend to the boats that have been doing it for years. So I think that's why it's still maintaining its success. So on top of the 333, that's where the Founders Cup comes in. If you fish three 333s, then we will track your scores. We have a point-based scoring system that takes out the fact that at some ports, sometimes of the year, the fish are smaller than others. So we convert your ranking to points. We track it all year long. We take your best 3 scores, and then we get what we call the cumulative score. At the end of the season, there's a big cash purse that we pay out to the top 10 teams. That purse this year is $23,500. It's 10 grand guaranteed to the first place finisher, and the top 10 boats in the Founders Cup will all get cash prizes.
Very nice.
That's how it works. So you can find out everything you need to know about the Founders Cup at tournamenttrail.net/Founders Cup. And it has all the rules. It has online registration. So anyone could get involved. There's still 9 events left on the tournament trail, and that's plenty.
Even has your personal cell number.
It does have my personal cell number.
So if you want to text Scotty Mack at 3 a.m, go right ahead.
He can do it. I've been giving that out on the radio for years anyway, so it doesn't.
It's
really.
true.
Small market. It's small market radio. You can do weird stuff.
So one thing I liked about the 333 over the years is you nailed it. It's an add-on to the main tournament.
Right.
And you can stink it up in the main tournament, and you can still win the 333.
That's absolutely.
And
correct.
I've seen that happen many, many times. And even if you don't come in the top 2 boats where you're winning cash prizes, you guys normally
3 now.
or 3 prizes, 3 cash prizes now, but there's still a long list of prizes that you guys give away every single tournament.
Yeah, there's 3. It's 2,000 for first, 1,000 for second, 500 cash for third, plus a $500 gift card from our new title sponsor, which is Garmin. So that's a $1,000 prize, half product, half cash. Then we've got our choice prize board from all kinds of tournament trail sponsors. There's also big fish bonus prizes for those that are all cash. Moonshine Lures is big steelhead at every tournament. Yeah. Acme Propeller is big Laker. Cannon is big combo. And I'm saving Dreamweaver for last. They're the big king. And this year they've come up with the Dreamweaver Super Prize. This is a $1,000 Dreamweaver package, handpicked by Shane. And it's fantastic. And I can tell you, it is jam-packed full of those ninja boards. Makes up a good chunk of it. So now that's going to be awarded at the end of the year from a random drawing among the 11 teams that win the weekly Big Fish bonus. So if you win the Big King bonus at any tournament trail event in the 333, you will have a 1 in 11 shot at that Dreamweaver Super Prize.
It's a nice prize.
Yeah.
Dreamweaver's always been one of your biggest supporters. I know that. And
Day one.
they're such good people.
Yeah.
All right, so Founders Cup, that's all the information, tournamenttrail.net. I will go back and put a link down below. You got to be involved in the Founders Cup, though, to get into the Salmon Showdown, to have that chance to be on TV. You pretty much have to do well in the Founders Cup also, but really anyone can do well. You can run a string of good luck together, a string of anything together, and get yourself way up on that leaderboard and have the potential to be in that final.
Yeah, I mean,
showdown.
that is the truth, you know, and some people don't like that about the 333. About, you know, we're not going to sit here and deny there's some luck involved. You know, it's your
there is.
best three fish, and you could catch them at any time. You could weigh all three on day one, or you could weigh all three on day two, or you could weigh one on day one. And, you know, the only catch is once you weigh a fish and elect to use it for one of your slots, you can't take it back on the following day.
So what plays in there? You're right. Luck does play into the 333, but when you have to string together 3 or 4 good events,
Yeah, the luck.
the luck is a little
declines,
more
yeah.
down here, and
And
the
some
skill
consistency.
level starts coming up also.
yeah.
I mean, that's just the way the numbers work out. So, guys, gals, I'm sure there's a lot of teams out there that could compete really, really well on this. Could have a good chance of getting on the television show in one of those 4 ports. When it does go to air, how is it going to be broadcast, Scotty?
Well, you know, I thought about bringing that information, which I do have, but it's an insanely long list of,
Okay.
of market channels. So I would say the best thing that you can do, it's going to be broadcast as like a mini series event within the season of Fisherman's Digest. Okay,
Nice.
there'll be 4 events devoted to the Lake Michigan Tournament Trail, to the Founders Cup, to the return of Salmon Showdown. And they will air within the regular scheduling times of Fisherman's Digest. So depending on where you are, where you're watching it, that could be Saturday morning, or it could be a Sunday afternoon. But I would say go to GreatLakesFisherman'sDigest.com and find information on the show. Now, our wing of their airtime, I believe, is scheduled to start this October. So I would look. We don't have an exact date on when that will be, but I would. It'll be fall of this year.
Okay. So just as you're putting the boat away, getting into bow hunting or whatever else you're doing there in the fall, you can jump back in and watch some shows. Can people still go back in and watch the older shows on another network?
Well, not on a network. They're all available for free online at carbontv.com. You can also get directly to that through Salmon Showdown's own website, salmonshowdown.com.
There you
go. And you'll find season by season recap. You can watch them from day one. Back, you know, season 1, it wasn't even called Salmon Showdown. It was called 333 TV.
Yes, it was.
We actually had a boat go down that year in Manitowoc. I believe that we caught on film, which was exciting now that everybody got out
Everybody's
fine. But
okay,
it
right.
was some pretty serious drama. We were
Right.
pretty green in the gills when we were filming that, so it was
Right.
that was pretty crazy. So yeah, all that is available. CarbonTV.com.
You can actually go back. I do like going. My God, I couldn't talk for a second. I do like going back and binge watching all the Salmon Showdown over the years, and you can actually watch the cameramen learn throughout the years. Because the first couple of years, sometimes
Yeah.
you just get a nice shot of somebody's ear for about 2 minutes, and by season 7, they got it down. They got it
Well,
down.
that was me and Chase cracking the whip a little bit, and it was also you know, me dishing out the coin. You know, that for the
Right.
first year we had you know, we had 1 camera on each boat.
Right.
By season 3, we had 4 on each boat. You
Right.
know, and that's a lot to manage. And then if you got
Right.
4 cameras that got to run for 7 hours, that means you've got probably 14 batteries that all have to be changed out. And
Right.
you know, so it really took us a while to get the flow running. But once I realized what Chase could do in post,
Yeah, just
It-
take the
it-
leash off and let them go.
yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I think we had 4 cameras on the boat when we did ours, and the guy was doing nothing but just changing batteries all day, moving cameras around, taking a little nap. We'd wake him up. He'd go do some other. You know, we weren't catching fish, so he had to do
Yeah.
something. But what a great time. So 333. What's the entry if you just wanted to go fish 333 at a port? What's your entry?
Well, that's a good question. So it does vary. So 333, like I said, it's a good way to get your feet wet on the tournament trail. Almost every event on the trail allows you to just fish 333. If you're just fishing 333, you don't want to try the AM division, the pro division, or anything else, it would be $150 per team. If you're entered in any event put on by the host tournament, which next week will be in South Haven. So if you go down there and you fish the South Haven in the pro or the AM, then the 333 entry is just $100.
Okay. But to be eligible for Salmon Showdown, you have to be entered into the Founders Cup.
Okay, so now the Founders Cup entry.
Exactly. Yep.
That's a different ball of wax. That's a one-time $500 entry fee.
Yep. I wanted to make sure that we got that.
Right. So that's a side bet on the 333 itself.
Yep.
And that's what brings that $23,500 person to play, which is paid out after the Benzie Frenzy in Frankfurt.
So guaranteed though, first place prize though,
10
Founders
grand.
Cup, 10 grand.
Yeah.
And the 9
Guaranteed.
or 10 other boats are gonna get cash prizes.
Top 10
as well.
get cash.
There you go.
I think the payouts are posted. Yeah, they're posted online.
Great.
I know second place is $5,000. They're solid payouts.
Yes, they are.
And they are guaranteed right now. I mean, right now there's only 21 or 22 boats in it. We
So-
assume that number is going to grow when we get back up north. But
Yeah, probably so, but still, that's pretty good numbers to get in and have a good chance of,
Oh, yeah.
of making some money.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Terry Armstrong, I didn't want to miss you. Thanks for the super chat. I did see that come in. Scotty was talking like Scotty does. I mean, he's very good at it, and I couldn't stop him. So, but Terry Armstrong, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate you helping out the channel. Scotty, any bits of advice or pointers you could give to teams that want to get into the 3-3, maybe are a little hesitant?
it's designed specifically for you. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I get asked that question a lot, and I always go back to the first time I played golf in a league. You know, people would be like, "Come on, just golf. You don't have to worry about it." I'd be like, "Man,
I'm
you
not
know
good
what?
enough. I'm gonna stink.
I'm gonna be on the first tee. There's gonna be 80 guys behind me, all staring at me. I don't want to deal with it." But you know, you get there, and that's exactly what happened to me on the golf. You know, I get there and I shank my first drive. I still remember, and I get golf claps from everybody, and I'm like, "Ugh," and I felt like crap. But then as I started watching it, I'm like, "Oh, all these idiots are shanking their
Exactly,
drives." You know,
yes.
so it's not like we're all out on the trail
No.
and some elite level of never fail. I mean, what's going to happen is you're going to realize there's all different levels of people on the trail. There's going to be guys that are exactly at your level or teams exactly at your level. And when you put some competition behind what you're doing, you're going to increase your network. You're going to increase your knowledge just by osmosis, almost without even
Good
trying.
point. Yep, good point.
And it's going to make you a better fisherman.
It is.
It's going to make you pay attention to things. It's going to make things that other people have learned that maybe you don't know become natural for you. So it's just a great way to become better.
It is.
And make better use of whatever time you have on the water. And with the 333, if you got four guys, you want to go out $25 a pop, you're in there, and you can track your scores and you can see how you're doing. You might surprise yourself.
And one thing you said there really hit home to me, because when you watch the 333 scores week per week per week per week, you'll watch one boat number one or number two one week, all of a sudden they're last place the next week. Number in the middle of the pack the next week, last place or better the next week. Every boat that goes out there, there's not one boat or two boats that are going to win every single week. Every week is different. Any boat can win any different week.
And any boat can win in the last 5 minutes of the fishing period.
Oh, that's happened many times.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know about many, but yeah, we've had it happen where
it's
it's really
happened.
got a triple. You know, I mean,
I remember Mark Chimera one year hit
Yeah.
two fish in the last 15 minutes to really win the whole thing.
Yeah, same thing happened to Tim Pratchler on Team Verdict back
Absolutely.
in the day. A triple in the last half hour of fishing. It turned out to be all three big kings, and it went from zero to winning it.
To
you know, so-
absolutely. Yep. So I'm going to reflect back to the first time that we fished tournaments 333. We had that same mindset. We're a small boat. We knew what we were doing. We knew how to fish. We'd all been fishing a long time, but there was something still holding us back. Like, we're looking at the 333 television show. We're watching Salmon Showdown. Can we compete on that? We're asking ourselves the same questions like you did in golf. Finally, we just said, heck with it. We're going for it. And we did just fine. We had no problem transitioning right into tournaments. I think our first one, we were top 10. We hovered around there a few times. We won one eventually. We did terrible a few times too. But you can get in there. You can compete. There's no reason that you couldn't get out there and fish just as hard as the biggest boats out there. And just because you might have a 21-footer and somebody else has a 48-foot Donzie, is that Flat Out's boat?
I think it's 60.
It's huge, whatever. And real nice guy, though. I don't mean to bring him up in a bad way. He's a great guy, great boat, too.
I don't see how that's a bad way.
I'm just picking
He's
the-
got an awesome boat.
I'm just picking the biggest boat on the trail. But it doesn't matter. 21 feet or a 100-foot boat, it doesn't matter. Either boat could win any given week.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Absolutely, because it happens all the time. So Salmon Showdown, Scotty, I am super stoked about this.
So am I.
Yeah. So basically, it's this: get involved in the 333. You got to get signed up for the Founders Cup, though. That is an external fee. That's $500.
Correct.
But a very good chance.
One-time fee for the whole season.
But a very good chance of a nice payout as well. Once you're registered for Founders Cup, go fish the minimum of 3 events, and you have a very good chance of maybe getting on the show.
Yeah, and the opposite holds true as well. You know, I know there are people that say, you know, I don't want no cameras on my boat,
Sure.
and that's fine too. So if you get into the Founders Cup because you want to compete for that money, and you're like, I have no interest in being filmed on the lake. You know, there's no obligation to be filmed.
That's a great
Anyone
point.
can say, you know, thanks, but no thanks. So you know, it's not a prerequisite that you have to say, yeah, I'm willing to have cameras on my boat. I think most people would like the opportunity, but for those that don't, you know, we get it.
Yeah.
So they're mutually exclusive. You know, there's no obligation to be
Great
filmed.
point. Yep, I should have mentioned that earlier. But yeah, you don't just because you sign up doesn't mean you have to have Chase maybe on the boat lurking around with all his cameras. And,
I don't even know if it'll be Chase filming. I think
could
he
be
might
any-
just be behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the camera guys will be, but I do know it'll be Chase.
but
you know, on
super
the
exciting. You said Fisherman's Digest, correct? Great
Yeah.
Lakes Fisherman's Digest.
Great Lakes Fisherman's
Great
Digest,
Lakes
I think.
Fisherman's Digest coming out in the fall this year, and the potential that this is going to extend itself into 2023, 24, maybe even beyond.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yep.
Maybe we'll be the lead-in for Wicked Tuna in a couple of years.
It could be. Could absolutely be. All right.
Saw
So
the eye roll, Chris.
no, there's no eye roll. No. So a couple questions that spring to my mind. How long are the programs going to be?
They're gonna be half-hour episodes.
Okay, so like a normal TV show.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have to feed the cameraman like we did? Because
No.
I think we shoveled out.
Well, I mean, you know,
He
do you
said it
have
was.
to? Do you have to tip your first mate?
No, you don't have to.
No, you don't have to, but they'd appreciate
Well,
it.
he told us that it was part of the deal. So
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
but
no.
You know who it was.
He-
too. I won't mention the name.
Yeah, I do know.
He's a great kid.
Yeah,
He's
he
not a
is.
kid anymore.
No.
He wasn't a kid then.
No.
But so really, that's all the questions I have. I'm sure all of you out there, or many of you, have questions. I have the iPad going. If you have questions for Scotty Mac, please sing them out right now. Let's get them answered. And if Scotty doesn't know and I don't know, we'll find somebody that does know. But I think
Yeah.
Scotty probably
Or
knows.
we'll make it up.
But yeah, no, you go ahead. By the way, somebody's on here said Scotty Mac for president. I should get that on a shirt. So
Yeah, okay.
maybe we'll do that.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we got a lot of people on here. Derek Mule's on here. How many people do we got going? Oh, just over 150. Thanks again to everyone for being here. And Scotty, thanks to you also, of course, for being here. Let's see. There's always a delay. There's about a 10-second delay. So when I say questions, I got to wait, and then they'll start rolling in if there are any. If there aren't any,
Right.
we'll move on to something else.
Yeah, you're supposed to make up some softballs, I think, so I don't
Oh.
look like no one's interested.
Right. Let me think here. I don't have any. How's your poker game?
Ah,
Is it getting any better?
You gotta get one together.
I know,
think
we
it's
gotta
been a
play
long
some-
time.
I'm lucky. Scotty and I are actually pretty good friends on it, away from the 333 and everything else also. So we got a little background between each other, a few poker games, a few late nights. So if we rib each other, that's the reason why. Okay. Philip Quinn wants to know. This is a good question, Philip Quinn. What fish categories fall into the combo for the 333?
Yeah, that is a good question.
I know where he's going with that
It
too.
creates a problem every year. So it may seem a bit arbitrary, but to weigh a 333 combo, you have to weigh individual species that qualify for the tournament. So you got Laker, you got brown, you got steelhead, and you have salmon. So salmon is a salmon for
Yeah.
the combo. You know, you can't weigh a king, a coho, and a Laker to complete the combo. You can weigh a Laker and a brown and a steelhead. You can weigh a brown and a steelhead and a king. But it seems like every year somebody tries to. And they're
Right.
like, well, why?
Right.
Salmon is a salmon, trout is a trout. You know, and it's like, well, you know, I don't know why.
That's just the way it is.
It was how Fred set it up, my dad, when we started, and the rule has always been that
That's the
way,
way it
and
is.
it's not going away.
So just remember,
Yeah.
salmon are always salmon, whether they be a coho or a king, but your trout you can separate.
Right.
And that's, I think, how most people actually went in with like a steelhead, a laker, and a king.
The question never comes up unless somebody's got a little coho and nothing else, and then
There
it
you
always
go.
comes.
Yep.
Then
Yep.
it always comes up.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Thomas Hurley wants to know, are all the tournaments in Michigan this year?
they are. Everything is in Michigan this year.
Okay. Another good question, and I think I know the answer to this. Jason Wilkerson, who fishes on Team Kicker, I'm sure you know that boat. He wants to know, what's the heaviest 3-3 score of all time?
I do have that information. I believe it's 84-30.
I was thinking 83 something, but I know it's in the low 80s.
I believe it's 84-30, and forgive me, but I can't even remember who had it. I think there are 3 boats that broke 80 pounds. On Call was one of them.
Yeah, I'm
I
drawing a blank.
feel
on-
horrible that I can't remember.
I
that
think there was a
right
boat in Wisconsin
I
one year
have
that
the-
broke 80, and I don't remember the other one.
now. I have the 3 weight slips, the 80-pound weight slips at home, but 84-30 is the biggest, and maybe, I don't know if it was Godfish. I don't know. I shouldn't just sling out boat names, but I'm fairly certain On Call, and I think, I don't know. Look in the Tournament Trail magazine from 2020, I believe, where the 80-pound club was born.
I think it was On Call, because I think that was the year they took #1 overall, and we took #2 overall. They had a monster
really?
cumulative that year. There was only 2 boats over 300. We were one of them, they were the other one, and they were like still 4 points above us.
I wonder if Kicker had 84 pounds. Is
Maybe
that why
that's what I was
Jason?
saying. Kicker was. I don't
That
think it was
doesn't ring a
Kicker,
bell.
It doesn't to me either.
All right, well, if there's any more questions, you keep looking.
I'll
I'm
keep
try to
looking.
pull that up.
JP wants to know, any chance of coming back to Wisconsin ever in the future?
That's a great question, Dave P. And the answer is never say never. I would say there is a chance we'll be back in Wisconsin. I don't know when or if it will happen, but I certainly would not rule it out. We love going to Wisconsin, and I mean, to take it the wrong way, I think they love to have us in Wisconsin. We always feel very welcome there. We're sorry that we couldn't be there this year, and we do hope to see the other side of the lake.
I'd like to see that back
again
also.
in the future, and hopefully in the capacity where we could build it back up, where there were multiple events over there, so those teams would have the opportunity to compete
That's
in
a
the
great
multi-port
point.
as well. So
I also would. I'd like to see it come back just personally, because I would love to go across the pond and go fish a tournament over in Wisconsin. I think it'd be a really good time, because I know a lot of those guys do come over here.
And just to be clear, the Sheboygan Salmon Cup, which is not on our circuit this year, is still going on. All right, so if you're over there in Sheboygan and you've heard that we're not there, that does not mean there's no cup. Okay, so you can find that on Facebook. Russell Gahagan is still running it. He's still very active on the tournament trail. And so don't think there's no tournament opportunities over there. The Sheboygan Cup lives on, and perhaps we'll be back there someday. I just can't really say.
I've heard he runs a really good tournament over there too. I'd like to get over
It's
there
great,
sometime
yeah.
and try it.
I mean, it's another great town.
So good job. Yeah, I'd love to come over sometime and do that. So maybe some year after this. But let's see what else we got going on here. Somebody says they need an East Side tournament. TD Schlout says that over in Huron. That'd be a tough one.
Yeah, I would say it's just as likely. I would say it's probably more likely that we would have an entire East Side circuit than we'll just
Right.
go over there for
Right.
one event. Not that we don't want to go over there. We actually tried to branch off into Walleye in Linwood for a couple of years.
I'm surprised that didn't take off.
Well, we went in there with our 333 mindset, and it's 333. You can win with 30 pounds to 60 pounds. Them walleyes, they're all fractions of.
Oh, right, right, yeah.
So it's not like oh, should I keep this 15-pound king or wait? It's like, well,
Right.
should I keep this 4.5-pound fish or this 4.6-pound fish?
That's a great point.
So
Yeah.
the 333 format didn't really work. But I don't know. It would be great to branch out, but there's only so many weekends and so many people, and we'll see. Who knows? Maybe in the future, like I said, we could have multiple circuits.
Yeah. So a couple off questions here, just because questions are a little slow right now. But tournament rules: how many rods can you have?
9 rods.
Nine
circuit,
rods.
Circuit wide.
I want to make sure that came out because I think a lot of people get in the mindset maybe a bigger boat does better because a bigger boat can run more rods. You got to remember every boat is regulated to a 9-rod spread. What about tournament teams? Is there a limit on how many people you can have on your team?
No, there's not.
Okay.
It's whatever you're comfortable bringing on your boat. There's not a limit to how many you can have, but with the 9-rod limit, obviously, if you fish with 2 people, you're at a bit of a disadvantage. But that happens. In fact, I believe it was Captain Matt Wing and Team Lacavia won the amateur division in Michigan City this year, just him and his son, and they came out on top.
Good for them.
Running 6 rods.
Good for them.
And we've seen that happen before. But that is, if you don't have 3 people, you are at a bit of a disadvantage.
No,
there.
that's. I'm glad to hear that. I've heard that boat name before. In fact, I think I saw him on the show one time. He and his little boy fishing along. That was great to see.
He's not as little anymore.
Well, I'm sure he's not. So nice job there, Team Lacavia. Philip Quinn wants to know, has Tangle Tackle got any flasher files in stock yet? I do not believe so. I'm sure there will be soon. Good question, though. Okay, questions are winding down. We are 40 minutes in. I think we covered pretty much everything. Guys, gals, if you have any questions ever for Scotty Mack, his phone number actually is on the website. I'm serious.
It's in the magazine.
I'm
It's
being,
on the
I'm
website.
being serious.
Yeah.
But and I remember when I first started fishing the tournaments, I didn't know you at all. I called you up one day. I had some questions. We talked for about a half hour.
Yep.
You were very, very easy to talk to and very knowledgeable. So don't hesitate to give Scotty a call at 2:30 in the morning. He will love that. I'm sure he won't mind at all. Or his wife with the broken leg. I'm sure she'll be
What
happy.
can she do? She can't do nothing
She
about
beat
it.
you with her crutch is what she could do.
I can keep a wide berth.
You're a good guy. All right. Trying to think of something else we wanted to go to on the Salmon Showdown, but I think we covered everything. If we missed anything, please reach out to Scotty. Reach out to me if you want to. You can always email me, christangletackle@gmail.com. I'm happy to help you out in any way I can. Don't go anywhere. We have giveaways galore to do here. Scotty's got something we're going to start with.
Oh, we're starting with my thing?
Yeah, let's start with yours, Scotty. You got the big one over there.
All right. Well, I apologize to all the boats that weighed 80 pounds in the 333 that I could not remember their name. It's really bothering me.
It's almost as good as earlier when you said the sponsor Garmin and pointed to your hat. And I don't think it's on there.
I believe that it is on there.
It is. I stand corrected. Scotty's got another one on me. All right, what do we got
Tiny,
there?
But it's on there. See? It's right on there.
I believe you.
All right. So if you follow the tournament trail, you know that in person, at least, we used to carry this like 40-foot wide display. It was like an erector set, and it was in these big wagons, and it had 8-foot aluminum poles and rods. And it was like a 3-hour process to set it up.
With a big Velcro board.
Yeah, big Velcro boards and individual sponsor boards, which was great. The sponsors deserve that recognition. But this year we decided that sucks, setting that thing up and tearing it down. So we went digital, and we now have a 12-foot wide digital video wall.
That's cool.
We had it up in Michigan City. We had it up in St. Joe. It looks fantastic. The sponsors are highlighted in huge HD, and thank the Lord for them, because there's 3 elements. You got to have the tournaments, you got to have the teams, and you got to have the sponsors.
Yes, you
and
do.
we've been blessed to have, like you mentioned, Dreamweaver. They've been with us for day one. A lot of our sponsors have been with us for day one. So we want to do the best thing we can to help them get the exposure. And if you're fishing the trail, you should take note of not just the 333 sponsors, but all the individual tournament sponsors. And nobody's twisting your arm here. When it's time to restock or to buy something, take note of the businesses and the sponsors, the manufacturers that support the trail, because
Great
it truly would be a much different outlook without them.
It might not even exist at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm babbling on about that was to give a plug to our sweet new 12-foot wide video display, but also to say I've got a lot of leftover stuff from the old, as I call it, analog display. And so Chris, begged me to bring something for you guys. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I could. So anyway, this is, I packaged up, this is all silver hoard. And it's a nice set of spoons
Yeah,
and
grab
some
that.
J-plugs.
I'll just
There's some other stuff
take
on
that
the
right
red.
out to my truck right
Well, there
now,
you
big
go.
Scotty. Oh.
So that was originally basically a $333 choice prize, valued at $333. Now that we've gone digital, we don't need that display product, and so now I'm just
that
giving it away.
That is a nice set right there. Looks like half dozen flies, I think 3 spoons, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so about 10 or so nice plugs.
Yeah.
Ace highs and the J plug style. It's a nice little giveaway right here, Scotty. Thank you so much for doing
you're
that.
very welcome.
Thanks for giving it to me. I mean,
Hey, it's your show.
you're a good guy.
Last time I was here, I think you made people pick a number.
what we're
You
doing.
probably could have an advantage in that.
That's what we're doing again this time. But
That's it, okay.
I've got more to give away than just that, so I'll give that back to you.
All right.
A very nice couple stopped into the shop here a few days ago. Unfortunately, I was not here. I wasn't able to say hi to them personally, but you know who you are. You want to stay anonymous. I get that. But thank you sincerely from me, and I apologize for not being able to. I didn't know you were coming. If I knew, I would have stopped in. But even though I wasn't here, they grabbed these things to give away on the channel. So some lucky viewer is going to get a really nice Ninja board package. You're gonna get 2 of the small boards, 2 of these with the flags, left and a right. And you're going to get 2 of the big ones. 2 of the big Ninjas as well, a left and a right. So some lucky viewer is gonna get that. You know who you are, you know that you didn't have to do this, but thank you for doing it anyway. It does help support the channel. What else do I got to give away? I don't have it in my possession, but I will tell you this. I have a brand new 2022 Purple Taco Fly Supply fly kit for the 2022 flies. You're going to get that. And you're going to get 2 really nice bead sets. That's a different giveaway. So that's 3 different things we're giving away. We're giving away your big board.
Wow, that's a lot of numbers.
We're giving away the Ninja boards, and we're giving away a Purple Taco fly kit and beads. So that's 3 huge giveaways. We'll do it like this, like we normally do. Pick a number between 1 and 1,000. I will get 3. I will get 3 random numbers from Siri. Whoever gets closest or nails that number on the head first will win that individual prize. So there'll be 1 number for the boards, 1 number for Scotty's board, 1 number for the Purple Taco. You pick 3 numbers when you post them down below. Don't do it now. You will crash YouTube, and YouTube police will be at my door within an hour with a warrant for my arrest. Don't do that, please. Pick 3 different numbers after this post to YouTube. 3 different numbers between 1 and 1,000. We'll see how this plays out. Somebody's going to get 3 people are going to get really nice packages.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
That's a good way to do it. That's what Siri is best at, picking random numbers.
I got it from you.
Oh, did you? Yeah,
I did.
all right.
I got it from you giving away sunglasses at all the tournaments.
Yeah,
That's how
it
you
worked.
did.
It works well.
Also, I wanted to show you this because I think everybody should have this on their boat, and you can get this. Actually, there's a link down below to our merchandise store. This is my new hat of shame on my boat, and as you can see, that says "No more net for you," and you know exactly what that or who that might be for. So on my boat, this nice pink hat of shame is going to go to anybody that boffs a net job, whether it be me, whether it be my first mate, or whether it be a customer or a tournament guy, whoever it is, my tournament buddies. They got to wear that until they can redeem themselves either by A, the fishing day is over, or they can net another fish. And we might not let them net another fish,
Yeah.
so they may have to wear that thing the whole day. But that's you do it any which way you want to on your boat. But I am saying right now, every boat should have one of those pink hats of shame on there, ready to go for the lucky person that screws up a net job. And
for $29.95, you just PayPal Chris that money, and we'll send you one. No, I'm just making.
it's not even that much. I think it's.
You gotta have a little markup in there.
No, there's not much actually. I think it's $19.99 but there's a link down below. If you want to grab this, you can look at all our merchandise on there. but that one is definitely going on my boat. Even if I gotta wear it, I'm having it on the boat.
We caught some flack when we released the Salmon Showdown trailer just a couple weeks ago because we had that one shot of the salmon jump in the net.
Oh, I remember that.
A lot
Yep.
of people from outside the trail thought that obviously the people on the trail don't know how to net fish.
I think I remember that boat talking trash about somebody not being able to net a fish, and then they boffed that net job.
I believe that's correct.
I think that's exactly what happened.
I had forgotten about that.
That was
Yeah, that's right.
That was an absolute fair turnabout right there. All right, let's see if we're missing anything in the chat. Chad Capella, thanks for the super chat, buddy. I do appreciate that. Yeah, well, guys, no numbers yet. Don't pick numbers yet. Wait till this post to YouTube, then pick three numbers between 1 and 1,000. Don't do it now, and I'll figure it all out, and I'll do these giveaways next week. It won't be a problem. Guys, gals, let's get out of here. It's 50 minutes in. It's Mother's Day. You got better things to do. I'm going to go home and spend time with my wife. I'm sure you're going to do the same. Scotty, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Scotty, if it's okay with you, if you ever have more information that you want to get out to the fishing public, especially the Great Lakes fishing community, I'd love to have you back.
Love to be here. It's
Okay.
fantastic for me. I live like 2 miles away.
Yeah, I'd live like 10. So you heard it here. Scotty's coming back every week.
All right, well.
No, I'd love to. If you ever have anything, Scotty, come on back. We'll get you back in front
Thank
of
you.
everybody. You're welcome. Everybody take care. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Be safe. We'll see you on the water.